Okay, we moving straight to video game here. This is a level in a video game right now. 안녕하세요 여러분, 여러분 AJ요. My name is AJ, and welcome back to Shadow Spinner Reacts, where we are starting a new series. We are starting Parasyte the Grey. Thank you, Brian, for voting in the poll and putting. I know it's a horror. Putting me onto this, I know it's a horror series, which I now have to watch in the dark by myself. I know nothing else about this. I have not seen any trailers. I have only seen glancing images of the poster, although I'm going to have to, like, obviously I'll get a poster up on this side of the screen, but I haven't looked at it yet because I'm trying very hard not to spoil anything, but I do know that it's horror. And I do know that my own brother is the one that did this to me. I do like horror. I just prefer horror, with another person there. I like having my other human being with me when there's horror happening. But in light of the fact that I can't have that, I do have a blanket prepped. I'm not going to have the blanket on to start, but I have it prepped just in case, because everybody knows that blankets are magical devices that protect you from all monsters in all movies. So I have this. It's sitting right here in case I need it. All right, Parasyte the Grey. This is on Netflix, so if you haven't seen this yet, you're definitely going to go want to watch it on Netflix first, because we are going to obviously be cutting it up for this reaction. So if you haven't already seen it, you might not entirely understand what's going on in the reaction because you're going to lose some of the context. We do also have a Patreon, though, if you do want to see the full uncut reaction that you can sync up to your own copy. You can go check it out there. And of course, if you want to have any control over the future of what I watch, go ahead and feel free to join the poll writer tier on Patreon. It's only $1, and then you get to vote in the polls and basically control the future of Shadow Spinner Reacts. Because if Brian retains full control over the future of Shadow Spinner Reacts, it's gonna be nothing but horror from here on out. We went from marry my husband to this. Someone living on Earth suddenly had a thought. Oh, that's a lot of dead fish. If human population shrank to 1/100th of its size, would the poison spewed also decrease by the same amount? Probably more, actually. I think it would decrease by more because, well, depending on how it is, because it's not just the size of the population, it's the spread of the population. If you consolidate the population a little bit more and you need less transportation to get places, like, we must protect the future of all living things. Okay. Ah, yes. Nothing like getting into an online argument with the chat. Anybody who's been on YouTube long enough has seen what chat arguments look like. Where is this? So this is like bacteria from outer space. That looks like so not the type of fun that I ever want to have. I mean, we knew it was going to be a parasite, but I thought it was going to be like slightly smaller than that. That looks like a space leech. So it's small enough that it can go through the pipes and everything, but it's as big as a bottle. We got some size concerns here. You are not going to live very long, sir. That is my prediction. Oh, don't crawl into a face. Please don't. No. Oh no, the ear's even worse. The ear's even worse. Oh why? No. That's not even scary. It just cringe. Never be the first body and never be the person to find the first body. If this is how fast they move, we can deal with this. React faster than that. I ain't taking time to scream. So they're not, okay. We're not infecting anybody. We're just straight up slaughtering here. Okay, got it. Also, that was a fast mutation. That wasn't scary so much as it was just creepy. See, on the one hand, I get the frustration of, this is how they handed it to me. You're going to make me get out of this really long line and get in the back of this really long line because of something you messed up. But at the same time, like, the moment you started cursing her out, I stopped caring about you. And the fact that that's your response, should I just kill everything? Like, so I feel like we've been introduced to two of our I don't know if it's main, but at least recurring cast, because he was also in the comment section earlier, and we're focusing a lot on her. So either they're recurring cast or they're early victims, one of the two. Okay, girl, this is where you take advantage of the fact that you have a vehicle that can go in places that his vehicle cannot. Like, if I noticed I was being followed by a car and I had a scooter like that, I'm deliberately going into alleyways that he can't follow me into. Well, she's dead. And I hope he dies a miserable, horrible death. Oh, she's gonna become infected soon. That's what I'm predicting. She's gonna become infected, and then he's gonna go to kill her, and she's gonna annihilate him. Well, at least the parasite got revenge for her. I'm okay with this. But she went back to looking normal. Now we've met a main character, and I know because I recognize the actor. The victim's still alive? Wait, what? He recognized the name. So is she infected or not? Was she infected? Or did it infect something else, and because she was already on the ground, it didn't kill her? I'm so confused. I'm so confused about the rules of this parasitic invasion right now, because the other one seemed to take over and transform. She's got her memories, so she is infected. Okay, this is really weird. This is really... Are there two different types of parasites? Are there multiple types of parasites here? Because she's still herself. And it didn't seem to attack the other guy. Unless we were Resident Evil in this and she's the equivalent of Alice from Resident Evil, where she's just got this automatic symbiotic relationship with the parasite. Then it's actually almost surprising, given that she didn't have older scars. Okay, so that's how he knew her. He knew her from that prior case. Months later. Okay, this escalated quickly. I'm not gonna say it. I am gonna say it. It's the Battle of the Odysseys. It's the Battle of the Odysseys. What is happening here? I'm so confuzzled right now. I mean, I get that this is, there's gonna be a lot of setup in this episode, but the series is only 6 episodes long. Presumably that means there's gonna be a part 2. He's like, yeah, thank you. I'm aware that they're pissed. Hi? It's a brain tumor. You can't always see it on the outside, sir. Is she? She's not. Okay, I was about to be like, is she? She's not clocking into work the next day, right? Like, that's right, this is a few months later, but still, if I was followed home from work and murdered and infected by a parasite and then had regenerative scar tissue from my stab wounds happen, I'm just saying I might not go back to that job. That seems like a pretty jinxed job. I expected this to be scarier, but we're like 20 minutes in, and so far it's been more WTH than anything else. Is there a Yerk screaming in her ear? For those of you that don't know, that Yerks are from a very, very old series called the Animorphs, and they're parasites that would go in through, I believe it was through the ear, and wrap around the brain and control people. There's something off with that guy, though, that was on the bus. He was, like, staring at her like he knew something about her specifically. Can the parasites detect each other? Calling it now. She's infected, and she's taking him to be infected. Alright. So they have control over it, except for, I guess, the alcohol has a negative reaction. Because it seemed very out of control in that environment, and this is very deliberate. Okay, we're moving straight to video game here. This is a level in a video game right now. I feel like I've played this game before. Okay, so we're not completely defenseless here. We are doing a decent job, actually, of fighting. Like, they came prepped for this. Oh, she's very good. Oh, jeez. Oh, what is this? Oh, gross. That symbol was on one of the pamphlets earlier. To be clear, I'm not scared, I'm just cold. Okay, so she's infected. So I'm confused on whether they were trying to infect the guy or if they brought him there as food. But alcohol seems to not react well with them. And also probably having that immediate thing happen in a very public place is why they've got a counter organization already. But also you would think after that there would have been like something on the news. So he is not infected. So they're trying to blend in. They're trying to pretend to be normal people, and that's how they're able to keep infecting more people, but also bring fresh meat back. But for some reason, she's not affected properly. Is it because she was dying when she got infected? Because she's in control. The other ones, it seems like the parasite is in control, but she's in control. Yeah, I'd be... Oh, okay, did they, like, activate her? Or something? You've already lost. You lost your stealth check. You lost your stealth check, buddy. Okay, but she didn't kill him. This is very strange. This is very strange. I don't even know what to think. He's like, I believe you. He's like, you don't need to look. Do I look like I could fight back against you? What is her deal? Because they said you're very good at pretending to be human. She seemed to actually be human for the most part. So her parasite is choosing to remain mostly dormant. Okay, so her parasite is trying to protect her? I'm very, very confused right now. Like, yeah, but he's trying here. Dude, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. Do not go there. The question is, if she teamed up with the special forces, would they'd probably just try to dissect her. But it's really strange. Like, it's not trying to team up with the others of its kind. It doesn't seem to be on the same agenda as them. It's telling her to stay away from them, in fact. And is it like because it has access to her brain and sees her life, like it's developed an empathy or something like that? Like what's the deal? I'm very curious. I'm not scared. I thought I was supposed to be scared. I'm not, but I'm very confuzzled, and it's fascinating. Hi. My literal inner demon wrote back to me. Don't know how I feel about this. So they can't communicate internally, but it is aware of everything that she sees and hears because it knows what he said. Burn the book. Burn that book. Get your answers and then burn the book. You can always write back and forth to your inner demon later, but you definitely don't want that book around. Okay, so they're training everybody. They're training everybody on the Uncanny Valley. I hate starting, ending, or having any part of the day with the gun pointed at me. To be fair, it seems like the only person that this particular Yerk has killed, I'm gonna keep calling it that because it's straight from Animorphs. I'm sorry, it just reminds me of Animorphs. It's like it took revenge for her, and I don't know that it's killed anybody else. Okay, so they're slowly disseminating information to other task forces. She's got to be so used to receiving excessive amounts of disbelief during this presentation. Okay, so they're not spreading yet. I don't know that I would trust that, but they really believe that there's not going to be more. Okay, so she's got like a symbiotic parasite. Okay, she's how long has she been doing this that she's like, I'm sorry, the human hosts cannot be saved.
주변에 의심 가는 사람 있으면 머리카락을 뽑아보세요. 자, 그럼 다음 단계 넘어가겠습니다.
And hope that you don't get caught plucking a strand of their hair. Like, they're not going to notice that at all. They'll notice that. Okay, cool. So we've established that people are relatively intelligent in this version of reality. I like it. I like that we were actually dealing with relative intelligence here. She had to have lost her mind after doing this for such a long time. Like, losing a loved one this way and then having to control him this way. It's like, she's got to be several screws loose by now. Okay, so it's entirely self-motivated. She doesn't want the human to die because she'll die. Oh, that would freak me the heck out. It's like, I don't know what do you do with that? Okay, but they said they go after humans. Why specifically humans? You'd think humans can't be their main sustenance because they're not from Earth, so they couldn't have evolved to specifically need humans. Okay, well she made her point right quick. Oh, she's lost it. She's loony. She's absolutely loony. There's so much going on here. So, like, we don't know why the first one went crazy. We're assuming it has something to do with the alcohol that triggered that, because they seem to very specifically be like, we can't touch this human. He's got alcohol in his system. So there's your answer. If you want to survive a parasitic invasion, just always be drinking alcohol and they'll never eat you. That would be my son. He sounds like a gremlin. He doesn't like going to sleep. But anywho, like, that was not... I thought it was going to be scarier. It's still horror. But it's a slow-moving horror. It's not... It's like, I thought, because it started at the beginning, it was like this crazy thing. I thought it was going to be like terror. But no, we actually, we've actually got this not entirely under control, but relatively under control. Like, we've got... The police have been informed. We've got they've had enough time to put together a PowerPoint or like a video detailing how to analyze these things. They've got their standard operating procedures up and running. Like, they've figured that out. They've made plans. They have captured one of them alive. They've got actually a lot in place. So it's like, yes, I know that these creatures are going to be popping up, but there's a finite number of them. Because as far as we know, they don't reproduce. I feel like that's not going to stay true. I feel like that can't possibly stay true. I feel like it's really silly to assume, when it's only been a couple of months, really silly to assume that they'll never reproduce, or that another batch can't be dropped in. We don't know what caused them to drop in the first place. It seems silly to assume that. But also, that also means when they're collecting humans, they're literally collecting them to eat. That's what they're doing. It's creepy as heck. So that means that the main focus is not actually going to be so much on humanity defeating the parasites, although that'll be part of it. It's going to be focused on this one girl and how she's going to evade both sides, because she's human most of the time. Actually, let's calculate this out. You got 1,440 minutes in a day. She is literally 98.6% of the time she's human. She is only said that her inner demon has told her that it can't control her for more than 15 minutes a day. That means it only has control for 1.04% of the time. 1.04%. 98.6% of the time, she's human. Just saying. That's going to be... It's an interesting conundrum. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? At what point do you, like, go, I need to communicate with the Secret Services and be like, look, I would like to offer my services. I would like to help get rid of the other parasites. I would like you to understand I am actually only a parasite for like 15 minutes of the day, and I don't eat humans because 98.6% of the time I am human and I can subsist off of the things that humans subsist off of. So please don't torture me. And I will help you catch all of the rest of the parasites, but please don't torture me. Like, how do you play this? That's like, because on the one hand, I'd be like, the human part of me would be like, I need to get rid of the other parasites. Can't let them be murdering humans. Can't do that. Can't let them be murdering humans. And maybe if you catch enough of them earlier on, then they can be like, okay, you're clearly on our side. But also, she only has 15 minutes of superpowers, and she's evenly matched. So, yeah, that's tough. I'm not quite sure how. You'd have to do some serious game planning. You'd also want to get the heck out of Dodge. Like, if you know that they're starting to... Well, actually, you know what I do? I have that thing that says this is the church location. Maybe I send that to the special forces and be like, hey, you want to get a bunch of them all at once? Here's their organization. I mean, they caught the sign that was printed on the wall, though, so you'd think, like, when they see a church that has that symbol on it, you'd think they're going to figure it out pretty quickly. They're not the most intelligent parasites. Not the most intelligent... Actually, the one intelligent parasite seems to be the one that was... caught in the mutation. It makes sense, though, why it would choose to heal the body, because they can't leave the body to go somewhere else. They can't change hosts. Once they've got a host, that's their host. They cannot swap. These are interesting rules that we're playing by. Once again, not scary. Don't know that it's going to get scary, but it's interesting. So... I'll thank you, Brian, for sending me this way. I expected to be mad at you by now. I expected to be like, I can't believe you made me watch this and I'm terrified and I have to watch it by myself. But no, actually no. I'm genuinely, this is fascinating. And it's really weird because, like, I know I should care more about, like, the characters and everything like that, but I'm mainly just fascinated by the situation. And starting to play out calculations inside my brain, because that's how my brain works. Start being like, okay, how would I survive? Honey? There's an invader in the background. Don't know if y'all saw him, but he was invading. That's gonna be it for today. If you are on YouTube, I don't actually have my calendar with me. We may have the poll up, we may not have the poll up, but if you want to participate in polls in general, come join the Patreon. We will have this following up with episode 2 next week. Same time, same place, channel. And yeah, that'll be it for today. Alright, bye-bye, annyeong.